I think the actual opening date of the Baton Rouge Clinic was October 23rd, 1946, and I was born November 22nd, 1946. So the clinic and I are roughly the same age. The clinic was founded by actually four main individuals: Dr. Joe Sabache, Dr. Cheney Joseph, Dr. Gerald Joseph, they were brothers, and my dad, Mortimer Sylvie. They all trained together, and then when World War II broke out, they were in what was known as the two-lane unit, overseas, North Africa, Italy, and they began to talk about practicing together when the war was over. So they came to Baton Rouge and decided to locate here because it was the capital city. And first office was above the Pig and Whistle, and actually the first patient was a Labrador Retriever. An elderly gentleman came in and said, "Can you help me? My dog had a tumor." And so Dr. Sabache, and I don't know if it was my dad, Dr. Cheney Joseph, did the anesthesia. They took the tumor off the dog, and kind of the rest is history. They moved from there to several other locations until they moved in the early 1950s to North 19th, across the street from, I think it was Sunbeam or Wholesome Bakery. And they stayed there until 1975 and gradually grew. They added 3 or 4 more doctors and finally moved to probably the newest facility they had at that particular point in time, 1975 on Goodwood Boulevard. And what they were trying to do is locate between the two hospitals at that time. We continued to grow. There was no property to buy, so we moved into the facility that we are in now. We worked an arrangement out with Our Lady of the Lake. They built the building. We occupied the first 2 floors, and then in early 2000, I think it was 2001, we moved everybody over here.
We were on Goodwood and building this office, and I brought my, I think, 8 or 10-year-old son here at the time. Just came up to look at the offices, and of course at that time it was pretty much some steel girders and cement and like windows with no glass in them. So I have a picture I took of him standing by one of the windows as the building was being built. And again, he was 8 or 10 at the time, and now he's actually joining the clinic next year as one of our new GI doctors. So quite a journey from when it was being built to now that it's well established and he'll be one of us. But right after me, there's about 3 or 4 other doctors whose children will be about to join the clinic in the coming years. So it is truly a family business, so to speak, family-owned, family-run, which is one of our strengths, I think, is that we are physician-owned and physician-run, which means we make the decisions that we feel are in the best interest of our patients and aren't constrained by either insurance or institutional biases.
For me, one of the beautiful things about this place is I'm able to, sort of practice independently and make the decisions that are best for me and for my patients without having somebody knocking on my door and telling me either, that's the wrong decision, or you need to work harder, or you need to do more of this or more of that. I think that a lot of the medical world has gotten into that, and of course that's important to keep the lights on. But I think the autonomy that we have here, that we're granted here, that we embrace as an independent organization that's not run by a big company that's physician-owned, which is key. I think that's one of the things I was attracted to when I came here.
So I trained at Mayo before I came here over 30 years ago. And through Mayo's history, we share this focus toward the patient. They can obviously do other things with their size and their reputation and their quality with regard to research and teaching. We can do a little bit of that, but not to that degree. But we share the same goals, day-to-day goals of patient care. And when a patient has either a rare condition or a condition which may be difficult to diagnose or treat, now with this collaboration we have virtually immediate access to Mayo consultants, and if need be, the patient can go to one of the 3 Mayo clinics with ease, and I take advantage of that frequently.
That's one of the biggest honors I have is working alongside people that have been practicing for 20, 30 years there's very little they have not seen. And so they have so much wisdom I have already learned from, and we learn from each other too. Recommendations and protocols change, and we all discuss it as a group, and we learn from each other. And so that's what the art of medicine, it makes it so fun. You get to tackle difficult cases together. You're not just practicing alone.
I think one of the beautiful things about Baton Rouge Clinic is all the doctors truly love to work here. We truly love our patients. We truly love the clinic. We're all invested in the clinic, and we pride ourselves on providing quality care to children, newborns, all the way to elderly patients. And I think that that's really special and really unique, and our passion for medicine is definitely there.
Whether by intention or by accident, we do tend to work as one machine, not separate entities, but one. So from the moment a patient walks in the front door to the moment the patient leaves, whether it be reception, whether it be lab, whether it be nursing, whether it be doctor, or other professionals, we try to work in concert with each other, and that provides for a happier patient and better patient care.
We have patients who drive 2 hours or more to see us sometimes, which is always amazing to me. And I say, why do you drive so far? I trust you guys, you provide high quality care, and I'd rather come here than see someone in my own town. So it's a good compliment.
My name is Alicia Brown, and I've been a patient at the Baton Rouge Clinic since I can remember, since early childhood. Our primary care physician growing up was Dr. Patricia Pierce. And that group of physicians, and it was never scary. Going to the doctor was never scary. She was warm, and the nurses were warm, and it felt familiar. It felt like a familiar thing to do, was to go to the doctor, go see Dr. Patty and get a checkup. I don't know, I just think who they were as people had a lot to do with the atmosphere of that office. And so you grow up with your doctor, you grow up with your pediatrician, and it becomes much more of your family doctor than it didn't feel sterile. So when my nieces and nephew were born, and when my children came along, it was a relief to see that the same group of doctors was still practicing, and there was no question who we would send our kids to.
Everybody has a smile on their face, even during COVID. The ladies that greet you downstairs, they want to help you and get you pointed in the right direction. I just find the staff and everybody here seems to be happy and smiling, which indicates they're treated well, you'll be treated well, and all the specialties you need are right here. And they recommend each other, and they support each other.
My name is Gloria, and I was born in 1924. And I lived in Plaquemine, and 30 years ago, we moved to Baton Rouge. And we saw this big building, and we said, they bound to have some good doctors in that big building. And so we started, my husband and I both started coming here. I've always felt at home. I've always felt that my doctor was interested in what I had to say, and I've always had a doctor, fortunately, at the clinic that did that. And I always felt close to them and felt that I could call them, which they always insisted I could. Call me anytime you need me, and I did. And so when the last one retired, Dr. Truell became I love her to death. She is the most caring, wonderful person. And I feel like I'm related to her. That's how good. She's so kind, and she focuses on you as the patient, and she listens. And to a patient, that means a lot.
I'm very proud that we've created an organization that's here to stay. One of the things that we're very big on is stability. And with stability, you're able to provide that caring for generations. 50% of our employees have been here 10 years or longer. There have been 2 administrators in the history of the clinic, George Brown, myself, and then we've already picked my successor, who is here, Shawn Phillips, who is our Chief Operating Officer and CFO, and she will replace me when I retire. So, I mean, it's this constant theme of stability that I think that I'm most proud of. Creating stability in any organization is difficult, but I think it's part of our culture. So the physicians here do it, the employees do it. If you've been in Baton Rouge some time, you realize that it's not going anywhere. There are other things that come and go, but Baton Rouge Clinic is going to be here long after I'm gone.